welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know, I went to go see BTS last weekend for their Speak Yourself tour at the Rosebowl in LA. I was lucky enough to be able to go both days, so I went both Saturday and Sunday for the May 4th and May 5th concert. For day 1, I sat in the lower bowl area, and for day 2, I sat on the floor and actually had sound check tickets, so it was two totally different experiences, though it was the same concert. So today I wanted to share my experience with you guys. I got a lot of people asking me to share my experience, so here it is. So I live around 2 hours away from LA, and so I drove over there both days. So I left home at around 10:30 and then got to my friend's house at about 11:30. I was going with her and her brother, and so we just had lunch together. We left her house at around 1:30. After getting up there, it was like a good 2-hour drive. We went to a boba place she really wanted to go to. It was a boba place made by Wongfu Productions. They're a really well-known YouTube channel. Their boba place was called Bopomofo Cafe, and it was actually really good, surprisingly. When I looked at the menu, I didn't really think I'd like anything, but the lemonade there was really good, so I liked that. So after going to get boba, we weren't really hungry, and so we decided to like skip dinner and then just went straight to the venue. We got to the venue at around 4:35-ish, and it was absolutely crazy already. Like, people have been waiting there since like that morning and stuff, so it was absolutely insane. We were parking and we were in lot 3, and that was like so far away from the actual stadium. It was kind of weird parking on a golf course too. Like, you were walking on grass the entire time to get to the stadium. So we got there late because none of us really were trying to do anything specifically. My friend didn't want to get any merch or anything. Usually people get to the venue early to get merchandise and do studio and stuff like that. My friend wasn't interested in getting merch or anything, so we just got there later, like 2 hours before the concert. My main goal for getting there early was just to take tons of pictures, so I literally dragged my friend and her brother around the entire stadium to take pictures. The Rose Bowl Stadium was decorated with posters of all the members around the stadium walls, and so there was one poster for each member around the stadium, and that means you had to walk around the entire stadium to get a picture. And so I was just looking for Jungkook oppa, but every single time we walked, I literally couldn't find him. We were going through like each member, but I just could not find him. And so we got to one whole side, and then they were like, oh, you can't go anymore, you have to go through the entire opposite way. And we were like, oh my gosh. So we walked around, and then we had to walk all the way back around just to get my picture. I felt super bad, but that's all I wanted to do. And so we took pictures with basically all of the members. And so we walked around the entire stadium just trying to do that. And so we did that for a good like hour, I feel like. We took pictures with all the banners of the members that we wanted to take pictures with. And there was this like road to the main entrance of the Rose Bowl, and they had banners also on the lampposts of each members. And so I took a picture with the maknae line, and I felt really bad because my friend was just taking pictures of me. I am the shy type that doesn't like to do things like that, but I've changed a lot because I've been doing that a lot more lately. So I've mentioned this before on my Instagram. Last year at the Love Yourself tour at the Staples Center, for some reason, I never do this, but I decided to get merch for the first time. I've never waited in line to get merch ever before, and to do that for the first time at a BTS concert was probably the biggest mistake ever, but I don't know, I just wanted to do it. So last year I went to a Saturday concert, and after the concert I stayed at a hotel, and so the day after that morning I got up at like 6 o'clock in the morning and went and lined up at like 6:30, and I waited in line by myself for merch. And I happened to meet a friend, so the girl right in front of me also was by herself, and I just decided to talk to her, and we became really good friends after that. And so for the whole like 5 hours that we were waiting in the merch line, like, we became close, and we kept in touch ever since. So we tried to meet up at this concert. She was there all day, so then all I had to do was kind of just find her. After me and my friend went around taking pictures around like the entire stadium, I called my friend and she said she was in line somewhere, and then it was like crazy. The place was huge and there's like stuff everywhere. Mind you also that like the entire field around the Rose Bowl Stadium was full of lines, like lines of I don't even know what they're standing in lines. They were so long. There were like tons and tons and tons of merch booths. So like not even the main one. The main one had like a bunch of tents together, but around the stadium there were little ones, and each line was like looping and looping, and you don't know which line they're in. Like it was all over the place. She was in the main area, and I was like, I can't find you, I can't find you. And we're like trying to find each other by like the big like balloons in the sky, like saying, I'm by E, I'm by E. I finally found her, and she was in line to take pictures with this huge BTS poster with a red carpet. And when I met her, we were like super happy to see each other. She said she was in that line for 4 hours just to take a picture with that BTS poster, and I was like, you're insane, because I was like, that is so not worth it. It was like warmer too than we expected. The sun was out, and like, yeah, I was like, no way, I can't believe you're doing that. And she was super nice. She was all like, oh, you want to take a picture with us and like with the poster? I was like, no, like you waited 4 hours for that. There's no way I'm gonna just like cut. So I was just standing in line with her because she was already at the front by then, so she had been waiting for how long already. So I just joined in line just to talk to her and her friends and her cousin and stuff. And so we're just, and I was doing that while my other friend was going to pair her light stick, and so we were just chatting away. When it was finally her turn, I was like, oh, I'll take the picture for you. So I took their picture, and then obviously she convinced me to go take my own picture, and I was so thankful because I didn't wait in line to do it, but thank you. So I took a picture with the big poster, and I also took a picture with her with the big poster, and so I was super thankful. And we took a bunch of selfies and stuff together too, so we were so bummed because the day that we first met last year, like we didn't take a picture at all together. So we were bummed, and we wanted to make sure to take a good picture this time around, so I was super glad that we were able to do that. Also, I'm super glad that I didn't take a picture last time with her because I had no makeup. I just literally got out of bed and went straight into that merch line, so I'm super glad that we were able to take a picture this time around. So after taking that picture, she had to go do her thing, so then I met up with my friends again, and then we decided that we would just go into the venue. By then it was already like an hour till the concert, so we were like, let's just go now. 1 hour till the concert! Yeah! So the lines were super long to enter, but I mean they went pretty fast considering. So we got into the venue, and I asked them if I could take a picture with the Jungkook poster. They walked with me towards like the opposite side of where our section was just to take a picture with him, and then walked all the way back. So I felt super bad, but thank you so much for doing that for me. And then we went straight to our seats. I think the coolest thing about having it be at a stadium was the fact that throughout the day you can hear them rehearse. When we first got there, I literally thought it was just music playing, because usually like they play music inside the venue early anyways, but then no, they were really rehearsing. I thought it was just so cool to hear them kind of just rehearse live. It was crazy because I thought it was the CD at first, but then it wasn't because they're just rehearsing inside, and I thought that was absolutely crazy. I wasn't planning on going to both concert days. I only had tickets for day 2, and so I ended up buying a ticket last minute for the Saturday concert. So me and my friend were sitting separately. She was sitting with her brother, and I was sitting by myself. I sat in section 7, row 8, seat 105. It was pretty far away. Considering that I was lower bowl too, that was really far away. The entire concert, I was just thinking, man, I am so far away. I've never sat that far away for a concert before, so I was kind of like bummed out, but it was still fun. It was cool to see things from the front. I was really bummed last year. I was at the extended stage, but I was like straight at the extended stage, so I couldn't really see the front of the extended stage, and so I missed like Mic Drop Remix and all that from the front. And so this time it was kind of nice to see all of those stages from the front, but it was so far away. That was the first time I actually went to a concert and I didn't know who I was looking at. Like, I knew in my mind that Jungkook oppa was singing, but then I couldn't find him on the stage because that's how small they were, and they were all wearing like the same color. So I was like, I can't tell. It was the first time that I had to actually look at the big screen and be like, oh, so he's moving that way, so then he must be that one or something like that. Like, yeah, it was pretty bad. So I'm gonna go over some highlights specifically from the concert. So for the first song, I'm gonna talk about Euphoria. that, because it was day one, it was the first day that anyone was ever gonna see that Jungkook was gonna fly. And so I went absolutely insane. I remember like, I was like, oh, it's kind of odd I just like stopped dancing. And then when you see like the staff coming and the fact that they're like hooking him up to something, I was like, no way. Everyone in my section was like, no, he's not. And then when he finally went up, you know, I imagined he would fly like towards the stage and like not really go around. He went like around the entire thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, it was like crazy. And he was like, his vocals were so stable throughout the entire thing. Crazy. Okay, and the next song I want to talk about was Fire. They were kind of just like doing freestyle, but then when it got to the famous 333 dance, they decided to do the choreography at the extended stage, and I was so happy to be able to see that again. It was a nice throwback, and because they did it at the extended stage, I was able to see it a little closer, so that was super nice. Next song was Idol. They were also doing freestyle afterwards, but then they, like, all the background dancers came out and they went all out for that dance break in Idol. That was crazy to see. Like, they filled the entire stage, extended stage, main stage, with background dancers, and like, oh, it was crazy. Next song I want to talk about was The Truth Untold. This one I want to talk about because I thought it was really pretty. It was like last time. They had it where like the 4 members were just on there and then they were like raised up. But I really liked the fact that because I was farther back, this was one benefit of being farther back. Because I was farther back, I could see all of the members' zoomed in faces on the big screen. And so when they were singing, you can see all of them. And so when I was recording, I could see like all the details, because obviously I can't see the members because they're so far away, but then seeing all of the big screens was just really nice. The ending for The Truth Untold, Jimin at the end, he was like going at it with his singing. He was so good. He was just like busting those high notes, and I was like really surprised because usually he just does like one long high note at the end, but then he was going extra that day, surprisingly, and I thought it was super cool to see in person because he didn't do it for day 2, but he did it for day 1, so I was happy to be able to witness that. Mic Drop Remix. I was so bummed last year because I couldn't see the choreo for the Mic Drop Remix in person, really. I saw like the background dancers in the back, but then because I was so far in the back this time, I was able to see the Mic Drop Remix choreo from the front, and that was really cool. Though they were really far away, it was just really cool to see the whole thing. I was like hoping, like during the entire song I was like, please do the dance break, please do the dance break, and they did, and I was super happy to see that. Okay, and for Anpanman, I was so confused because no one knew about this yet, right? When they were pulling out the jumpers, I was like, no way, no way. I thought it was just gonna be like details in the back, kind of like background things, but then when the slide came out, I was like, no way. It was so funny kind of just watching them play the entire time. It was cute though. And then I just wanted to talk about that ending. This was like crazy. I've never been to a stadium concert before, so having the special effects of like fireworks and fire and all that was just crazy. As you guys probably saw all over Twitter, like it was one of the prettiest endings to a concert ever. Like seeing how, first of all, it was Microcosmos, so that song itself is just beautiful in general, but then having like BTS already gone, and then that big logo coming up on the extended stage, and then having the fireworks in the background just to end the whole concert off. It was just so pretty. Another thing that I wanted to kind of complain about was the fact that the translator was really bad. I didn't like the translator. Two things that he translated that really bothered me the most. The first one was when Jin Oppa was doing his goodbye speech. That one bothered me a little bit. Jin Oppa was talking about how when BTS and ARMY are together, that it feels like they're performing together. But then the translator was all like, oh, like performing with you makes me so happy, like I love you and stuff like that. And I was like, he did not say that at all, but whatever. The second one bothered me the most, and that was when Taehyung Oppa was doing his goodbye speech too, and he was saying that how he feels right now, like he can't express it in words. And so he was like talking about how touched he was, and so he said once he finds the words that can express his feelings, that he'll let us know. But the translator was all like, oh, I love you, ARMY, like you make today so special, whatever. And I was like, you have no idea what you're saying. So overall for day one, it was pretty good, but nothing like day two. So make sure you watch the day two video because I'm going to freak out just thinking about it. But overall it was good. Lower bowl isn't bad. I would definitely recommend lower bowl seats for like the overall experience because you can really just see everything from lower bowl. But the biggest pro of going on day one was just taking all of those pictures. But overall it was a really good experience. After the concert we drove back home and I slept 6 hours until I woke up again to go to the next concert. So definitely go check out my video about day two because I have a lot more to share about that. So yeah, I hope you guys like my day one video and I'll see you in the next one.